So today we're going to talk about adding rational expressions, and I told you guys that this is probably going to be the hardest section of the ones that we've done. It's not super difficult. How do we add fractions? What do we have to add fractions? Same denominator. So it's the same way that you've always done them, just this time we're adding in some variables on the bottom. Now the first ones, if you look, we made it pretty easy for you because we gave you the same denominator. So the first 5 had the same denominators, and we'll focus on the numerators. But then once we get past that, we have to make them look the same. You do the exact same thing that you've always done, just have variables this time, okay? So it's the exact same thing you've always done. So if we look at the very first one, the first thing you want to check is make sure that your denominators are the same. So these are the same. So we just squish them together and make it just one denominator. Okay, so again, if I had something like this is what you guys are used to. We keep that denominator, and then what do we do? Sorry, what do we do to the numerator? We just add them. 1 plus 2 is 3. We're going to do the same thing. If you have like terms, you want to put them together. If you don't, you just stick it all together in one numerator. So if we look at the top, we don't have the same anything, no like terms, nothing. So we just squish it together, read it just like it is, 4 plus u minus 2v, and that's it. So again, we're going to start with the smallest thing that we possibly can. We're making it really, really easy to begin with. Common denominator is the first thing. We already had that. And then we're going to squish the top together. If there's any more simplification that you can do, you want to go ahead and do that. Okay. So this first one's really easy. There was nothing to it. On the second one, do we have a common denominator? Yes. So we just use our common denominator. On the top, do we have any like terms? No. So we just write it completely out. 6 plus 2m minus 3n. Again, if there's anything else we could do to simplify for a GCF, anything, any kind of factoring we could do, we would want to do that. But again, on all of these, we've not had anything that we can pull out. All right, so then if we look at number 3, try to get all this on at one time. Look at number 3. Do we have a common denominator? Yes, so we just use that denominator. But then look at the top. Do we have any like terms in the top? What do we have? So we're going to put those together. 3x and 6x makes 9x minus 6y. Is there anything else I can do to that top? They got it. The top has to stay together, right? You guys remember that? So just like this, how we were putting our parentheses on the last ones. Take out a 3. I can do a GCF on this, right? Is that GCF going to help me? What do I mean by that? Yes. So the GCF is going to help me because when I take out that 3, 3 and 24 will reduce, right? So if the GCF doesn't help you, sometimes they will not take it out. So when you're doing your quiz, if you take out a GCF, but then you don't see that they did it, that's probably why. Okay. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Okay. But if it will help you, always take it out. So we're going to take out that 3. What's that leave us with on the top? 2 what? 2y. On the bottom, we're going to have 24x squared. You said the 3 and the 24 will reduce to what? Will anything else reduce? Yes or no? Come on, guys, girls, ladies. Will anything else reduce? No. So what's my final answer? That's it. Okay, again, remember that these two have to stay together. You can't reduce those x's, or you can't reduce the 2 and the 8 because it has to look exactly the same as the top. Okay, look at number 4. Also has a common denominator, so we're good there. What is our common denominator? Good. On the top, what can I do? X plus x is? And then 3y plus 4y is? Can I do anything to the top that will help me out? No, this is as good as it gets. We're done with this problem. So reduce when you can. Don't do anything else if you can't. No, ask your question. Right, so that's what I keep telling you guys, treat it like it's all together. You can't separate them. Does that make sense? Okay, keep them together. I always have that question, so I'm glad that you asked, even though you figured it out for yourself. All right, next one again, common denominator, so it's really easy. What is our common denominator? Zoomers, what do we have on top?
2x minus 9y.
2x minus 9y. Is there anything else that I can do to this one? No. Remember, this has to stay together, so there's nothing I can do there. All right, so what is different about number 6? Clearly. Different denominators, okay? So here's what happens. If we have different denominators, back in the day, we had something like this. How do we make a common denominator? Yeah, I think you guys did something that kind of looked like butterfly method or something. That's what I always hear when I do this, at least in Math 1. Okay, so what you actually do is you multiply these together to get your common denominator of 15. Okay, then just like you said, the butterfly method, you multiply the 1 by 5 and the 1 by 3, and we get 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so that's the exact same thing that we're going to do, but we're going to have variables. Okay, so it's going to look a little different. So same concept. Multiply the bottoms together. So we just squish them together. And then you do your butterfly method, or I call it cross multiplication. Okay. For addition, it doesn't matter which side you do first. For subtraction, which we'll get into more tomorrow and Thursday, for subtraction, you start on the left. So I always go left to right. So 6x times x plus 6. The sign between was a plus. That came from right there, that plus that I x'd out. And then you have to cross multiply 6 times x minus 7. Everybody okay? Now we need to simplify. Okay, so simplify the top. What are we going to have on top? Multiply it all the way out.
6x squared plus 32x
Keep going.
plus 6x minus 32.
What?
42.
42, good. Over x minus 7, x minus 6. Somebody else, what can we do now? Yeah, add your like terms. Yeah, everybody's right. Add your numerator, add your like terms. 6x squared, 36 plus 6 is 42x minus 42 all over x minus 7, x minus 6. What should I do now?
Take out 6.
Oh, yeah. Somebody says slide and divide, but that's too much work. Why?
There's a GCF.
Yeah, 6. So Zoomer, whoever said that, great job. So take out a 6, x squared plus 7x minus 7. Do I have any factors of negative 7 that'll add to 7? Anybody? Factors of negative 7 that'll add to 7? So that we can use cheater method? No, I don't have any of those. So this is as good as it gets. Now, what I'm going to tell you is, did this 6 help with anything? No, they may not pull it out. So even if you went this far, which is the most simplified you can get, this may be the answer that you see on your quiz. Does that make sense? I'll take both. Both are fine. Okay, nothing is wrong with the second one. All right. Look at number 7. What's my denominator going to be? And I usually just put my 3 in front. It just looks better that way. If you put it in the back, it's the same answer. Okay, so don't stress about which order to put it in. All right, so what am I doing to the top? Cross multiply. What's going to come first? I'm going to write it out though. I'm going to multiply 5n and 3n first. There's a plus between. And then what am I going to multiply?
7
And I just put my 2 in the front again because it just looks a little better. I don't, either way, it's fine. And then I heard 15n squared. What's the rest of it going to be?
14.
All over. You can distribute, they're not going to. Okay, they're not going to distribute this out, so just leave it. Don't do more work than you have to. What do I need to check now? Do I have a GCF on 15, 14, and 4? No. So what else do I need to check? To see if I can slide divide. So I would not do it. I would not do it. I would just check to see. So all I'm going to do is put a little mark right here. 15 times 4. Remember, we can use our calculator. Gives us what? Do I have factors of 60 to add to 14? What if I don't know my factors of 60? What do I do? 60 divided by x. 60 divided by x plus x. Do I see a 14 in this table? No. So what's that tell you? It's not factorable. That's as good as it gets. That's why I said don't do it, because you might end up not having to. So that's your final answer. That's it. So when you get multiple choice questions, just test taking strategy. Make sure that when you get to a spot, like you get here, stop and check your answers, because the answer will already be on there if it's ready to go. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying? And then if you don't see the answer, again, if you don't see the answer, then you probably have to factor a little bit more. All right. So every step of the way, I would check and see and go from there. All right. Look at your next one. Sorry, I wrote all over it. What's your denominator on this one? On the top? I'm going to run out of room. Hold on. Let me do it down here. Minus 4, 8m plus 4, 3m, 8m plus 4. There you go. Plus, and I did it the opposite way, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. All right, this is really, really crappy because you have to double distribute. Okay, really crappy. So let's go for it. 5m times 8m. 5m times 4. Negative 4 times 8. Negative 4 times 4. Plus 4m times 3m. All over 3m times 8m plus 4. All right. I'm going to slide to this side so you guys can see. I'm going to go over here. Add your like terms. 40m squared plus 12m squared. If you can't see it, I'll move it in just a minute. 52m squared. 20m minus 32m. And then we had a minus 16 on top. Over 3m. 8m plus 4. I'm going to grab a sheet of paper real quick because we're not done with this problem. This is a nasty one. All right, so I'm just recopying it. I don't want to squish it up anymore. What can you do? A GCF of what? What's that leave me with? Now be careful on the bottom. Okay, so we have 3m, but look at this. What do you notice? There's a GCF in that too as well. You guys see that? What's your GCF there? More? 4. Which leaves you with 2m plus 1. What's that help you do? Mm-hmm. And then I want to see if I can factor that 13m squared minus 3m minus 4. So again, I'm lazy. 13 times negative 4 is negative 52. Do I have factors of negative 52 that add to negative 3? Yes or no? No. So my final answer is 13m squared minus 3m minus 4 over 3m 2m plus 1. Now, let me show you something really quick because I should have done this in the beginning to make it a little bit simpler for you, but I want you to understand it works both ways, okay? So it works both ways. So if we look in the beginning, look at this fraction right here. Can you already tell that there's a GCF that we can mark out? You see that? We could have went ahead and done it right there, and then that would have made this stuff a lot smaller. So it doesn't matter where you take out the GCF. If you want to simplify before you add and subtract, you can do that, okay? So just know that that happens, or you can take it out in the end, all right? Next, I'm going to keep going on paper because my pen bled through. I forgot that I was using the wrong pen. So we have 5x over 2x plus 8 plus 8 over x plus 6. Okay. What's our common denominator? Okay. Just to reiterate this, check this 2x plus 8 out. What do you know? I can take a GCF and change it to x plus 4. Okay. On the top, what am I going to do? Cross multiply. Multiplying what? Plus. Good. So on the top, I'm going to distribute 5x squared plus 30x plus 16x plus 64. Is everybody okay with that? Didn't go too fast. Everybody's with me? On the bottom, 2x plus 4, x plus 6. Clean it up. I get 5x squared plus, 46x plus 64 over 2x, but this is 46, sorry. X plus 4, x plus 6. Can I do anything? Yes or no? How do I check? Yeah, check 64 times 5. That gives you 320. Do I have factors of 320 that add to 46? No. This is as good as it gets. That's it, y'all. All right. 3 over n minus 3 plus 3n over 2n minus 2. Common denominator. What do you notice? Cross multiply. If you want to go ahead and cross multiply that together on your first step, that's fine. You don't have to write it out. I'm okay with that. I'm just writing it out for your purposes, okay? So 3 times 2n minus 2 plus 3n, n minus 3. What does that give you on the top? What's it give you on the top? 6n minus 6 plus, keep going, minus 9n. On the bottom, n minus 3, watch that 2, whoops, n minus 1. I cannot write today. Clean the top up. 3n squared, what's 6n minus 9n? And then we have a minus 6 over n minus 3 times 2n minus 1. What do you notice? Lisa with? Over n minus 3, a 2, and n minus 1. Do I have factors of negative 2 that'll add to negative 1? Negative 2, positive 1. On the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 in front. N minus 3, n minus 1. Do I have anything that'll cancel out? Yes or no? Do I have anything the same on the top and the bottom? No, this is as simplified as it gets. Now again, they may leave it at this one right here. So every step of the way on your homework, I don't want to say too much because I don't want them to think that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, giving y'all multiple choice all the time. But if you have multiple choice, check your multiple choice when you get to this spot. Once you're there, if that's the answer, go ahead and go. They won't put this answer and this answer on there. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, next one. Let's look at number 13. What would you, I'm gonna go back for a minute. Look at number 12. What would you do to that 4? Yeah, just do 4 over 1. So 1 times that and then cross multiply. So that's a pretty easy one. So we're looking at number 13 now. And 13 is 2k over 8k squared minus 32k plus 7k over k minus 1. What do you think we should do first? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and simplify that first fraction because I can see there's a 2 on top and I know there's 2's that'll come out on the bottom. Now, if I pull out a GCF, I'm going to kind of pull out too much. So what I'm going to do is only pull out a 2k. Does everybody understand that? So I'm going to take a 2k out, which leaves me with 4k minus, what's 32 divided by 2? 16. Then these will cancel out. And I'm left with 1 over 4k minus 16, 7k over k minus 1. That just makes your multiplying a little bit smoother, okay? Not humongous numbers you got to look at. So then when you do your common denominator, if you want to go ahead and take the rest of that GCF out, so what's the rest of this GCF? 4. So I can take out a 4, leaves me with k minus 4 and k minus 1. That's okay. I do not mind you doing that. When you cross multiply, if you don't want to write it out, that's fine as well. What's 1 times k minus 1? We have a plus between. Distribute this. 7k times 4k. And then 7k times negative 16. If you don't know what that is, 7 times negative 16. Use your calculator, we get negative 112. Clean it up. 28k squared plus k minus 111, oh, sorry, 113 over 4, k minus 4, k minus 1. At this point, I would check and see if that answer is on there. If it's not, you know you have to factor more. How do I figure out if I have to factor more? Mm-hmm. 28 times negative 113 gives us negative 3164. Negative 3164 divide x, negative 3164 divide x plus x. Again, I would not expect you to know those factors, but we're looking for 1. What do you see? Think it's going to happen? Probably not. Okay. I mean, you can keep going forever, but I'm going to tell you it's probably not going to happen. So this is it. All right. 14 and 15, and then we'll stop. 14 is 2n minus 4 plus 8 over n minus 5. What's my common denominator? And it doesn't matter which way you write them or which way they put them in the answer. Either way is fine. Cross multiply. 2n times n. 2n times negative 5. Good. 8 times n. 8 times negative 4. I know you know multiplication tables. Negative 32. Clean it up. 2n squared minus 2n minus 32 over n minus 4, n minus 5. What I'm telling you is when you get to this point right here, check your answers and see if it's on there. Okay, we can simplify this more, but they may not because it may not help us. I don't know if it does or not. I don't have the answers. I'm doing it with you just like you are. All right, so what can I do on the top? Lisa, keep going. Minus n minus 16 over n minus 4, n minus 5. Do I have factors of negative 16 that'll add to negative 1? Yes or no? No, not at all. So this is as simple as it gets, but again, they may leave it in this form. Got it? So that's why I say, please check this before you go to this point. All right. Last one, 15. 7n over n minus 3 plus 8 over n plus 6. What do you do? What is your common denominator? On the top, cross multiply. 7n times n. 7n times 6. 8 times n. 8 times negative 3. Negative 24. Perfect timing. Clean it up. 7n squared plus 50n minus 24 all over n minus 3, n minus 6, or n plus 6. Do I have a GCF? No. Let's check to see if we can slide and divide. So 7 times negative 24 is negative 168. Oh my. We're looking for a positive 50. Sorry, I was way up in there from the last one. 2, 4, 6, 9, 13, 17, 22, 28. Did I have a positive 50? No. So this is as good as it gets. All right. Just again, be careful on your quizzes. It's going to look the same. For the first couple, you'll have the same common denominator, and then you won't. tomorrow you're doing, if you look in your packets, you guys are doing a pizzazz worksheet. If you have problems with that, message me. Message me during our class time. It will help a lot. Okay. So if you need me, message me and I'll help you out with that. If you want to try it tonight and you get questions on it while you do it tonight, by all means, do it early. I don't care. That way you don't have anything to do. Got it? So if you finish today's assignment, Zoomers too, if you finish today's assignment, go ahead and start on tomorrow's. It's in your packet. I'll open up, those of you that don't have the packet that's remote, I'll go ahead and open it up today. And then if you have questions, just message me, okay? If you message me today and I have time tomorrow in the morning, I will make a video just for that question. And then you won't even have to like Zoom with me or anything. And that will be fine. Is everybody good? So again, I would go ahead and try it. Watch the subtractions. I know that you guys are, please don't leave yet. I know you guys are on there. I think they're all, let's look at, this is for tomorrow. When you do this subtraction right here, you're going to have to factor these first. So this is going to factor into x minus 4, x minus 5. They're the common denominators. Just to make sure that you push it together as a minus. We're going to do some harder subtraction with the complex on Thursday. Okay, so I didn't put subtraction in because I don't want to freak you out yet. Let you get the addition and the common denominators down. Okay, and then this gives you x minus 4, x minus 5. And then what do? The subtraction is the same thing as addition. I factor out my GCF. And then anything that I can cancel, I cancel. So your final answer is going to be 3 over x minus 5. These are not hard subtractions, so don't freak out because you see a subtract. They're all common denominators. So tomorrow's work is super easy. It's just throwing a couple of subtracts in there for you. And again, you can probably finish this paper in like 5 or 10 minutes. It's really simple. I tried to give you a little bit of a break. So if you can finish it today and turn it in, y'all would go ahead and do it and not have anything tomorrow. But then on Thursday, it might be rough. Just FYI. Okay. Is everybody good? All right. Zoomers, I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording. You guys are